Hello everybody, welcome to Big Bird Outdoors. My name is Nate for those who haven't been here before, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to be talking about fishing, not going to be talking or out fishing, not going to be giving any tips. I'm just going to talk more about the hunting community as a general community, and kind of don't like to get too political on my outdoors stuff, but I've been talking to some people recently about trophy hunting specifically and seeing other perspectives on it. And today I'm kind of going to give you the truth on that, and then also kind of dispel some myths about hunters in general. So we'll start off. I'm going to have 4 different things that I'm going to go over specifically, so we'll jump right into that. Alright, this first one's actually pretty simple. It's simply just not true. Any hunter can tell you that they don't just go out in the woods just saying, alright, if I'm hunting deer, I'm not doing it, I'm gonna kill this animal and feel nothing about it. A lot of people, if you look, they grew up doing it, so they realize the importance of it, of taking an animal's life and what that means for replenishing your own body, going through the natural circle of life, and what it means to be a part of that, be in the wilderness and go through that natural cycle. A lot of people who get into hunting later in life, there's many people who will cry at their first animal that they've taken because they realize the weight of what it takes to take an animal's life. But then there's also the praise in it or the happiness in it where, I can replenish my body, my family's body, my friends' bodies with the meat of this animal that I've taken. So for a deer, for example, yet again, I know people who take 5-6 deer a year and they feed basically a community. So if I take a deer, I know I'm giving some to my friend down the street, my grandmother, my cousin. Just one animal has so much more impact than a lot of people realize, and the idea that hunters are just heartless people looking to kill is so far from the truth and just completely wrong. This one kind of goes hand in hand with the other, this idea that hunters not only go out just to kill things, but also that they don't feel anything, that a hunter, when they take an animal's life, that they just go, okay, that's cool, let me take them home. No, a lot of people, I know I follow an Instagram page called Honor the Hunt, where it's literally just people sitting there thanking the animals they've taken. I certainly personally take a second. If I take an animal, I'll go over it and kind of even just in my mind, kind of just thank the animal, knowing it's going to replenish my body, replenish my family's bodies, and just help us go through our natural cycle. And knowing that I didn't have to go to the grocery store and take the meat of some animal that was kept in a cage and slaughtered, and that I actually went out and provided for my family. So that's a huge part of the heart you put into it, and it's also kind of that idea of getting out in the wild and being part of the actual natural world instead of having to go into a grocery store. And that's just another huge part of why people love hunting. Not just we have to do it like to survive, but the fact that we love hunting because it's natural and it puts us out in the world, the natural world, where we are at the odds of the natural presences around us, and we have to work our hardest to be successful and be able to bring home the bacon for the family and be able to provide for ourselves by creating that success in the natural world. This is another one you actually hear a lot outside the hunting world, as you do hear from all of these, and that's the idea that hunting is a very unsafe activity because we use firearms, we use crossbows, we use bow and arrows. People spear hunt, they use blow darts. The idea that since you're using a weapon that is meant to kill or take something's life, that is immediately an unsafe thing for people or even for other animals that you're not firing upon, and that couldn't be further from the truth. It's actually, in any type of physical activity, hunting is actually every year listed in usually the top 3 to 5 activities that are the safest with the least major injuries and the least deaths. So the idea that it's very unsafe is just simply not true, especially in places like the United States, a lot of Western European countries where there's high regulations on training, firearm usage. So I know here in Connecticut we're very restricted on the firearms we can use on state land. because a lot of the places that we hunt, they're also hiking areas. So I have 3 or 4 spots right around my house here, because I live right behind me, right in the woods pretty much. It's just land, but a lot of those places have the paths, have the trails, have the marked areas where there are people that go out and hike, especially in the early fall for the bow hunters, or just people in general. So it's this idea that it's very unsafe is just not true. It's highly regulated. We have to go, I know I'm speaking from Connecticut because that's where I got all my training, 16-hour training course, and about 3/4 of that is all about safety and regulation and how that all comes together. So this idea that hunters are just going out with a gun and they're shooting things, that they're just boom, boom, boom off in the forest, it's not true. So there's a lot of precautions we take as hunters to make sure everybody's safe. And again, that's why it puts us way at the top with the most safe physical activities you can do. And for the last one, this is actually probably one of the most untouched yet very political myths that are out there, is this idea that trophy hunting is a destructive practice, that it just eliminates animals. It's population destruction, just killing things to kill things, and it has zero positive effects, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at actual like numbers and money, so a lot of trophy hunts are upwards of $35,000 to $40,000 to just take part in a 3 to 5 day hunt. So I know for lions, it's usually around $10,000 to hunt a lioness, up to $35,000 for a prize male lion. And the majority of that money, not some of that money like donations do. So if you give $10, 33% of it's going to the staff of the organization, another third of it's going to some animal in Antarctica, and then maybe 10% going to the actual animal you want to help. With conservation, if you hunt lions, that money, upwards of 90%, anywhere from 70, 80, 90% of that money is going directly towards lions. So if you do an elephant hunt, that money's going towards elephants. So that $30,000, let's set our high price. So if you pay $30,000, 5-day trip to hunt a lion, a single lion, you take one lion, in which there's 6 spots in the year to take lions on 3 different preserves. Yet there's prides of a total of 55 lions. Now they have that money. When you take the 6, there's 51 lions left. They have the money to protect those lions, their offspring, so then you get 20 new lions. And then that builds and builds and builds, and they can protect that preserved land for that species and keep poachers out, keep other animals out. They can check the health of the animals. They can make sure the pride is staying intact. And then you add that to a bunch of different animals. So rhinos, elephants. If you go into Asia, the Amazon, there's all different programs all around the world, even here in the U.S., where they use endangered animals, where it's single trophy hunts that help a mass majority of animals. So I think the most recent studies say that one elephant taken by a trophy hunter can help up to 30 elephants, which is either a huge herd or even multiple herds. So this idea that trophy hunting just goes and destroys animals is wrong. And then also there's this this purely destructive idea of it. It goes back to the hunter aspect, where we're not heartless. We know our money's going towards conservation. And also when we take an animal, or when someone takes an animal trophy hunting, I don't do trophy hunting, I don't have the money for it, and I don't know if I would anyways, but if you are trophy hunting and say you take that lion and it's a predator on a preserve, and the animal then goes to a village. So I've seen this, if you watch TV, you see this a lot. If someone hunts an elephant, someone hunts a lion, someone hunts a rhino, that animal's body, it goes to, say, a small African tribe where it feeds them for weeks. Or if it's a small family or something, it could feed them for months. Like if it's a big family, I should say, a small tribe, it can feed that family for months. There's people when they hunt like a trouble lion. So if it's killing livestock, it's endangering people, endangering children, then you get rid of the problem, and they can carry out any food means that are necessary for them. A lot of them carry out rituals with animals when they take a trouble animal out. And I mean, there's animals like that with elephants. I'll use it as another example. Rhinos, they can destroy crops, they can destroy land, they can endanger people if they're angry or overly dominant. So this idea that it's trophy hunting is just to destroy something for the sake of destroying it couldn't be farther from the truth. Between conservation and also protecting and supporting people around it, as well as the people who are guides or working in the area, and then they have jobs because of it, and then they can go out and stop poachers and keep these places preserved for the animals that everyone loves. And also, to add on to the point before, if I said donations, trophy hunting's actually credited with saving species compared to donations where the money's split or it doesn't all go into conservation. That money, those funds, as soon as they pay off the guides, all that money goes into that business, which then all goes to protecting that preserve, or it goes to the government to protecting that preserve. So the New York Times, there's an article you can go read about the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They did a 39-page report on Zimbabwe and its conservation efforts. They have, I believe, 80,000 elephants, and they found that trophy hunting actually did nothing to hurt the conservation of the animals or hurt the population of the animals, and actually was massive in the conservation of them on those said preserves, because then, of course, protects them from poachers. So if a person does a trophy hunt, it's huge for these animals. So taking one elephant to save 50, it's massive. And again, it's credited with saving multiple animals such as elephants and rhinos. Multiple sources say without trophy hunting we probably wouldn't have lions either. So to say it's just this destructive practice without seeing the actual positive benefits of it is just, it's just a myth. Alright, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I know I just kind of talked today, but I think it's important to put it out there. If there's people trying to get into hunting, show them that it's something that's worth doing. It's a good thing to get into. And also those who may be questioning it or not very clear on it and trying to make up their heads, maybe this will give them some information about the way to go about thinking about hunting and learning about it. So again, thank you. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. Comment your ideas. If you have anything to add, any studies, anything else you've seen, add them down there. I love reading that stuff. I'll send a comment back to you. Subscribe for further videos in the future. I got my crappie fishing series. It's going to be coming up, a new episode pretty soon. Probably some more fishing content, some hunting content as we get into the fall. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.